Hey Archery Talk, this is Lucas, and tonight I'm going to offer you my short-term first impressions review of the Prime Black 3. I've really just gotten comfortable with this bow tonight. I've set it all up. I threw on my Hamskea Trinity arrow rest. I threw on my React H5 sight from Trophy Ridge and my titanium archery product stabilizer, a basic peep, and I commenced to start shooting. And right away, I really started liking this bow more than I liked the Prime CT3 I shot last year. I had some tuning trouble with that bow last year. It took me a long time to figure it out. It was a bit of a hassle. With the Black Series 3, I have had no such trouble. This thing tuned up super fast, and it's been really a treat to shoot. Again, if you don't know, this bow has got a 33-inch axle-to-axle length and a 6.5-inch brace height, a 337 feet per second IBO rating. We'll get to that in a second. Those are the basic specs. And it's very similar in specs to the CT3. The big change this year, of course, is the rotating modules for draw length. That's a new thing for Prime, and so far I'm liking it. I actually moved the modules to 30 inches for me this year. So I'm going to try to shoot all the hunting bows at 30. This one's actually coming in at about 30 and a quarter. Yeah, so through paper, I got this thing shooting bullet holes pretty much right away. And then once I did that, I started to sight in. And I'm sighting in just at 20 yards first to get that top pin set. And like on the second and the third groups of 3, smashed knocks right away. So clearly this bow is comfortable in my hands. I'm happy how it's shooting. That was great. I went up to 30 yards and got that sight in right quick. Using that React H5 technology, just kind of move the pins as a group up and down. They kind of spread a little bit like your fingers do, like that, as you move it down. As you kind of get a slower bow or a faster bow, they come closer together. And so I actually skipped 40 and 50 yard pins and went straight to 60 because I just wanted to see how it worked out that way. So I had 20 and 30 all sighted in nice. Went up to 60 yards. First arrow, dead nuts right in the middle of the target. I was stunned how accurate the sight turned out to be. The bow is the bow. If I have a good shot, it's going to be accurate. But I was really thrilled how just with that 20 and 30 yard pin, I had my 60 done right away. So that's really kind of cool. I haven't kind of dug into this sight real deep in a little while. I've had it for a few years now, but just thought that was a pretty nice touch. I don't think I've ever had such an easy time getting one of these sighted in. So that was really nice. And as far as like accuracy goes, I feel super comfortable. Again, I've only put 100, 150 arrows through this bow so far, so I'll have a lot more experience on this before I offer my long-term review in the late spring, early summer. But I just want to give you the first taste, and I've been super happy about it. I figured you were going to want to know about speed, and so I shot this bow through the chronograph, my Pro Chrono DLX. I've got my gold tip platinum pierce arrow weighing 350 grains, and my gold tip airstrike arrow weighing 475 grains. As I mentioned earlier, this bow is set up at 30 and about a quarter inches of draw length, and draw weight is at 70 pounds. With the slower arrow, the 475 grain arrow, all 3 of my arrows went through the chronograph at 284 feet per second, super consistent. And then I shot the lighter 350 grain arrow, and all 3 went through the chronograph at 326 feet per second. Considering this chronograph is kind of measuring slower than my other ones, that's actually pretty close to the 337 feet per second speed rating of this bow, and it actually puts it right in line with the Matthews VXR 28 and 31.5, maybe a touch quicker than the 31.5, and right on par with the 28 if memory serves. So actually pretty good speed for this bow. In the past I've had a little trouble getting prime speeds up to where I want them, and this bow has no such issues whatsoever. Again, these limbs are maxed out at 70 pounds on the button, so I didn't have to bring them out at all. So I was really happy with the speed, and 285 feet a second is about what I like with my heavy hunting arrow, which is that airstrike, that 475 grain airstrike. And so I think broadheads are going to fly pretty well with that. I have not played with that yet. Hopefully I'll do that before we do the long-term review. The draw cycle on this bow is typical Prime. It is super smooth. Really happy with how this bow draws. You can play with valley and how much holding weight and how little or how much valley you'd like just by moving the draw stops in and out. I've got mine on the short side just because I like a little bit of a more aggressive valley, but that's just me. Your mileage is going to vary. And so yeah, the draw cycle is really smooth, and I'm impressed with that a lot. After the shot, I am getting a good bit of vibration right now, more than I have in the CT3 last year. It's not outrageous. I've had bows with much worse, but this is a little more than I've come to expect from Prime. So I might have to, I'll tweak with the stabilizer a little bit. I might play with the string stop and move that a little bit and just see if I can kind of dampen that vibration out a little bit before I do the long-term review. I think that's about it, archery talk. Again, I should say once again that riser on this bow, which I pointed out in my unboxing, is I think it's called Grizzly Brown Riser. It looks kind of like chocolate. It is gorgeous in person. I absolutely love this thing. So I figure that might be something you guys might be interested in as well. So thank you so much for watching Archery Talk. Please do like, share, and subscribe. It really does help the channel an awful lot. And we'll see you again soon.